Hello. So I'm assuming if you're watching this video that you're familiar with me and my content, and you kind of just wanted to look at the channel at its beginning, right? Sorting the channel oldest to newest, trying to see where my mind was at, trying to see what my goals for the channel were, and just, get like kind of an authentic little bookend. And so that's what, hopefully this video will provide. So essentially, I've been working a corporate job now for a couple of years here in Midtown Manhattan, working in investment banking. And I've kind of reached a crossroads because before this, I've worked a lot of different jobs, but the two that I enjoyed the most, I think, was one, I had a YouTube channel, and two, I actually ran a small business. So I've gone through things. I have practical experience in both of those domains. My YouTube channel was very much a hobby project, very much like a creative outlet. I was challenging myself to upload a different style of content every single week. That was really difficult creatively and is like the antithesis to like a YouTube channel that will scale well. So we're not doing that this time. But also with the small business thing, I really enjoyed that. Like running a business really gets me passionate. It really gets me lit up. I really enjoy it, even though it can be hard. It's exciting to me. The issue is that when I ran my small business before, I kind of came up with a good idea, and I was like, this would be a great idea. And the market didn't really want it, to be honest, and we were targeting, I think, also the wrong kind of customer. Hard to know, because I think that ultimately it was just actually a very valuable service that we were offering. It was just that the market didn't see the value, right? And so that was a big lesson for me to learn. And I also learned a lot about myself doing that. I've learned a lot about myself doing this corporate job as well, things that I'm strong at, things that I'm weak at. And I know that I have a lot left to learn. And so kind of over the next 6 to 12 months, that's the idea. That's the goal. We're going to try to learn a lot about business. And with this channel, I want to take people on a journey, right? I'm going to assume the people who are interested in this channel are people who don't know what they want to do entrepreneurially, but they know they want to do something. And there's actually, it's pretty hard to find good resources for that group of people, right? A lot of content assumes you either have a business or it's so general that how is it useful? Is it really useful? I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest, because what business you get into is a really big decision. So, obviously there's the upfront investment. So, and then there's also the ongoing capital needs. There's a lot of things, right? And a lot of people will say service business is best because it has a low capital investment, a low ongoing capital requirement, it's scalable, blah, 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 right? So a lot of people just recommend you do a services business. And you go, okay, so within services, what am I going to do in there? Use the trifecta. What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? And what can make money? And just find whatever intersects there. That's too general though, and a lot of people think that you have to have this revolutionary idea. If you're doing a small business, absolutely not. If you're doing a startup, that's a little bit more true. But at the same time, if you accept okay, well, I can just do, whatever, a plumbing business, whatever. It's is that actually what you want though? Is that actually what's best for you? Because you have to think about the business now, what it is doing for you, as well as assuming the business is successful, what's it going to do for you in 5 years? What's it going to do for you in 10 years? And so basically being able to map out exactly what you want from your life and from the business, and combining all these frameworks together to pick what you actually should do. That's kind of what I want this channel to eventually become. In the initial phases, scaling up to having a channel of any kind of viewership, because remember, a product only matters if people consume it, right? Just scaling up this channel, getting enough watch time, getting enough views. I'm gonna do a very spammy type of content strategy in the beginning. It's gonna just basically be what everyone else is doing, like that super generic, high level content. I'm just gonna be pumping out videos. But hopefully what the idea is that in the long run, I'm gonna have amassed this bank of knowledge, and I'm gonna be able to creatively put like very high quality videos together that will actually be extremely useful for people who are in that situation. And that's the goal long term. And then the next step of that is I want to then also be able to apply the same thinking to my own situation, my own desires, my own skills, all that. And then I want to actually launch a business. That's the whole point here. We want to eventually start something. And, you know, when we do that, I want to bring the viewer along for the ride, right? I want to see like, okay, this was my theories going into it. We started the business. How's the business doing? You know, did I listen to my own lesson that I put out before, right? And so that's kind of, you know, part of the thinking behind the name Venteacher, right? It's a play on the word venture. And the idea is like, I'm trying to teach you how to start up your own venture, but also I'm going to be learning from going through the process of starting up a venture, right? So everyone's learning here. I'm learning, you're learning, we're learning together. That's the whole idea behind the name Venteacher. So, you know, I do think that this is going to be very exciting for me. It's really hard to predict how it's going to go. I mean, realistically, the channel's probably going to fail. The business is probably going to fail. But, you know, you can never start something with that mindset. You always have to assume things could happen well, you know, otherwise you'll never do anything. And so, you know, that's kind of where we're at. I'm at this crossroads. I want to increase my freedom in life. I want to, you know, engage my creative energies and like be able to make decisive action without being burdened by a lot of bureaucracy and stuff like that. That is just like part of being a young employee, you know? And so that's kind of where my mind is at right now. And yeah, so, you know, I hope that if things go well. I'm sure the plan will change a bunch of times. I might just burn out and not post this content. We'll see. My thinking is that, you know, instead of doing stuff that's very artsy and very creative like last time, I'm thinking that I'm just going to try to keep it real, especially if I get another job and it's like a high intensity job like the one I have now. Probably just gonna have to keep the editing low. You know, I'll probably pump a lot of videos out, but I'm not gonna like care too much about the quality. I'm just gonna try to like get things out there, start getting that cumulative watch time counter going for the YouTube gods to grant upon me the ad revenue that I so desperately desire. But yeah, we'll just have to see, you know. And it's kind of weird because I remember like with my other YouTube channel, I did a lot of work promoting that content. And I had two big videos, right? So like one of those videos blew up. My first video that ever blew up was actually a song I wrote and sang as a parody. And it got, basically some of my teammates saw it, thought it was hilarious, and then they like tweeted it a lot. I didn't have social media besides YouTube and like Snapchat. And so basically it ended up getting picked up by this magazine who made an article about it, which drove a ton of traffic to my channel. And so that was interesting. And then the other one that blew up a lot was, it was like the algorithm loves that video. Like I'm still getting views on that video years later. And it's like a joke. It's a joke video. It's like the whole point is like the audience is the joke, because that's what a lot of my old content used to be. And the algorithm is still driving traffic to that video. It's crazy. And like a lot of the comments are like, what the hell is this? You know, but yeah, anyway, it like, there's this like niche of like boomers basically who just love clicking on that video. Like it's one of the worst videos I've ever made, and it's done so well. And kind of part of that is like, and I've kind of learned YouTube is an interesting game where like you can leverage social media to blow up. You know, you can promote things across different platforms. There is a strategy to it. The strategy definitely works to a point, but sometimes you just get lucky and then you blow up. And so we're gonna try both of those. We'll see. I mean, and if I'm unemployed in the next couple of months, I'm gonna be making so much content, man. I'm gonna make so much freaking content. Anyway, so, you know, I hope that this has been an interesting little look into how things were at the beginning. And yeah, hope you stick around. Hope you enjoy the channel. And I hope that, you know, I hope that it's been valuable, and I hope that I'll be successful. So anyway, see you later. Like and subscribe, all that. Thank you. Bye.